What's up guys, Venny here bringing you a new video, and today we're going to be doing the 4-4-2 formation guide as promised. Every week from now on we'll be doing a different formation guide for different formations, as simple as that. We did 4-2-3-1 last week, doing the 4-4-2 this week, and then next week let me know what you guys want to see. I'm probably going to do the 4-2-2 if I don't have too many suggestions, but if you guys want to see 3-5-2 for whatever, literally whatever formation, I can make tactics and give you a bit of reasoning behind that formation and how it works and what would suit you to your team. But yeah, let's get into it. Actually, before we actually get into it, if you're new around here or you just haven't already, hit the subscription button and hit the notification bell. We are trying to upload every day for you guys right now, so the grind has been real. You guys have been showing a lot of support on the channel. I think we just got over 4,040 subs, and I said the aim for April was 5k. I've had to lower that down to maybe like 4.2, but every one of you who actually hit the sub button, I appreciate it a lot. Don't forget to leave a like as well, because that does help the channel grow. But let's get into the details of the 4-4-2 formation guide. Give you a bit of detail about myself. If you don't know, I'm a professional FIFA player for Southampton Football Club, and my use of 4-4-2 is hit and miss. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't say it's my main formation, but if I do need a plan B, it is my second variation to go to. It's just, I'm going to go into details why I do and I don't like 4-4-2. You would have seen the 4-2-3-1 custom tactic and formation guide, and the reason I like it is just that there wasn't no weakness. But before we get into it, just to prove you guys, you know, I do know what I'm going on about. My gamer tag's walking globe, and sadly, look at this, right? We hit a 29 and 1. We beat some crazy people. We beat like 3 Elite 1 people, some top elite players as well. But 2-3-2-3 skill rating, and we miss out by 8 skill rating. I can't believe it. All these Monday Night Warriors, I'll tell you what, just go and do one, man. We're on quarantine, bro. Like, surely you can play your games a lot earlier, you know? You ain't on a restriction. But anyway, less of that. Let's get into the reason why you guys have clicked it, and it is the 4-4-2 formation guide. So, as you see on the screen, this is my pay-to-win team. Simple as it's, you know, it is very expensive, and we're going to go into details of different types of players to throw into your team and how it would work. So let me just quickly put how I would set it up. So this is probably how I would set it up in game. I'm going to go into details on the type of players I would be looking for if I was working on different budgets. If you want to see different stuff on budgets, I do have squad builders as well, coming out on the channel every weekend. But yeah, defense, simple as just get the best defenders you can. You know, make sure that's on lock, because what happens with the 4-4-2, it's very attacking. I'm going to give you the pros of the 4-4-2 very early on in this video. The pros of the 4-4-2, it's very attacking. You can attack very easy. You're always going to have an extra wide man open through the attack. 2 strikers, easy to go from if you are a narrow player and you want to go to a wide formation. It's very good. I would say 4-4-2 is the next step up if you want to do that. Cons, for me personally, because of the way I defend, it's not very good. So if I am going to use 4-4-2, I'll use this one if I need to do the comeback, like a 4-4-2 flat. But if I want to start with it, I usually use 4-4-2, the second variation, just because I had the DMs. And that is because the way I play, I do quite aggressive defending. I'm very aggressive with the players. I'm going to pull like my centre-backs out. If you've seen it on the weekend, I just pull my centre-backs out for left, right and centre. It's basically pointless. And give myself awful situations. And what happens with 4-4-2, due to them being centre mids, they're actually quite high up on the pitch already. And when I switch to them, I'm pulling them completely out. So basically, I'm pulling, let's say, De Jong, who's meant to be my middle centre mid. I've got 2 centre mids. I'm pulling my De Jong and I'm pulling him up to like right striker position or right wing position, and he's got a massive gap through the middle, which a lot of people use, and that's why I do struggle sometimes with 4-4-2. And that's why it's my YOLO formation, because as I say, it's very aggressive. I can be aggressive with it in defense and attack, so that is why it's my plan B, because if I've gone to this, I'm probably losing. But yeah, this is obviously how I would set it up. Once again, same as 4-2-3-1. Have fast wingers. That's all that matters on the wings. They're not going to be your crazy goal scorers. They're not going to be. They will score goals, of course, but they're there to stretch the opponent, to force them down the wing, and you know, to be able to cut it back into your centre mids, into your strikers, whatever the situation may be. And yeah, just need raw pace on the wings. The meta, as once again I'll explain, it's very simple. Go down the wing, come into your middle, either through going back to your right back, then to your centre mid, and then to your striker, or from your centre mid to your striker, or even from your wing to your striker. From there, you want to get it into that half turn. You want to try and gain one-on-one situations. Obviously, it's a little bit difficult with people using overload ball slide, for example. But yeah, you want them one-on-one situations, be able to scoop turn it, drag back, whatever the situation is, depending on your player. Elastico, if you've got the 5-star skills. And that's why it's vital to have 5-star weak foot or 5-star skills strikers if you can. Obviously, I know they're probably a little bit more expensive than the standard 4-star. But if they got 5-star, it gives you an extra option regarding how you're going to attack people. But yeah, centre mids, for me, if I'm using 4-4-2, I'll need them to be very mobile, very agile, being able to drive that ball forward from the defence to midfield, because the simple as, when this formation, for me anyway, when I'm attacking with it, it flies to like a 4-2-4. I don't know what it is. FIFA 18, I never had this problem. FIFA 19, I had this problem. FIFA 20, I'm having a problem. It's that they just fly into like a 4-2-4 formation in attack, and that's why I say it's so good in attack. But yeah, that's why I have agile and sort of mobile centre mids, what can bring that ball forward from deep if need be, and then we go from there. Custom tactics, we go over it right now. Obviously, the default stuff is 5-5-5 and 5. Oh my god, my voice just went. Defensive style, personally, just keep it at balance. As I say, it's a very aggressive formation. You don't need to be using the press on heavy touch or press on after possession loss. But if you do want to go full YOLO and have a bit of fun with it, go press after possession loss if you really want to. Width, I would keep it at 5 or maybe even knock it down to 4, as 4-4-2 is quite a naturally wide formation. Bringing it in tighter will help you probably through the middle. So yeah, 4-5, and then depth. Obviously, this depends on your sort of style if you want to play. If you want to be aggressive, high press, up to about 6-7 depth. If you want to keep it very basic, keep it simple, 4-5 depth. And if you want to be a little bit more defensive, go down to a 3 depth. Wouldn't go anything lower, because once you go lower than 3 depth, you're basically not able to actually press your opponent, because it's just your team's so far back, and when you do press them, there's going to be a massive gap within that space, if you get me. So yeah, I usually keep it about 4. Width is about 5, but here and take, I will change it. If you are losing and you're staying as 4-4-2, up your defensive width, because that will allow your team to be a lot wider and ready for them switch balls. Your wingers are just going to be there to snatch the ball off them, and obviously up your depth to crazy high. But if it was me from the start, I'd probably use about 4 width and 4 depth, keep it unbalanced, and yeah, very simple. Offensive style, balance, long ball, fast build up, possession. I actually think all these, apart from fast build-up, works. As I say, with 4-4-2, for me, it does fly to like a 4-2-4 in attack. That's why I always go possession on 4-4-2, because I'm trying to make sure they don't, like I'm getting shorter options. That's why I have possession on. You'll notice if you do play 4-4-2 how it flies, especially the wingers, they will bomb up into that attack very quickly. But you can easily use long ball, and you can easily use balance. It's just all preferences. For me, I want that shorter option sometimes coming out of defense, so I have possession on. If you're a bit more aggressive and you're not really too bothered, and you just want a wing bash or you just want to go faster, balance will do. And then if you really want to YOLO it, long ball is the way to go forward. Width, as I said, this is a very wide formation, so it doesn't actually matter too much if you going up width. You don't need to. 5 is quite a basic and a very standard. I don't think you need to go any higher than that. The only thing you could do is lower it down to about a 4, so it's slightly tighter. So what will happen when you've narrowed that width, obviously when you're coming into the final third, your right mid and left mid will be in closer. And a lot of times, let's say if you've ran down the right, your left mid will come across the edge of the box to give you that cutback option to the edge, and your strikers will run into the box. So be very aware of that. Even on 5 width it will happen, but 4 width you'll notice it even more because he's just naturally tighter. Players in the box, you can change this whatever you want, whatever you feel suited to. Personally, I keep it about a 4. It's all preference, really. It's all preference. I see a lot of people was actually upping their players in the box this week to a lot higher, and maybe that's because of the overload ball side, the meta, the defensive meta. Talking about overload ball side, we're meant to be having a patch what fully kills it this week, but we will see, because they was meant to kill it off last time and they didn't, so let's just wait and see. So yeah, players in the box, I would even probably, depending on how slow you want to go, if you want to go slow, I would say three players. Standard about 5. If you really want to stretch it up and you need a bit more options, 7. But for me, I'll probably keep it about 5 full width, and obviously 5 players in the box. Instructions, very simple. Stay back on your right back and left back. As I mentioned, it's a very attacking formation, and you're going to be like, oh wow, these tactics are quite defensive. Well, it is, but because of the formation and how it actually plays in game, you can get away with certain things. So stay back on right back and left back. That is just so you're not getting wing bash and getting abused down the wing. You've always got your right back and left back there unless you pull them out manually. Very simple. You guys know how the defense works. If you don't know how the defense works, just keep everyone stay back, track the runs, and keep it locked up in the back. Right mid, left mid, come back, and that is because, as I say, this formation is very attacking. No matter what you do, you could have come back on literally all these players. I believe that's what Lyrics has done when he does use 4-4-2. He has come back on everyone. Your strikers will still stay up top, so don't feel like, oh, because you got to come back, you're not going to be able to counter people. You're going to be able to, not a problem. Right mid and left mid to come back, and that will help you obviously defensively. But as I said, when this formation goes into attack, it goes to like a 4-2-4. So even though he's going to be deep, he still, once you're in the final third, once you've got it out, he's going to be an aggressive style. You could even get in the box or crosses if you really want. And something what I found quite useful when I was using like full width, and then I would use stay wide on my right mid and left mid, and that was because when I was playing overload ball side, a lot of times the game was cramped through the middle, and what allowed the stay wide was obviously leaving my right mid and left mid just sort of roaming wide for the extra pass to the wing. And that's why I put that on. But obviously with this patch coming, you probably just want to keep it on basic, keep it simple. You know, you could obviously add in the getting behind, or I think getting behind or getting the box of crosses, whatever you feel preference to. Stay back and cover centre on your right centre mid and left centre mid. As I mentioned, with the 4-2-3-1 or any formation with 2 DMs, they stay locked. They stay in that defensive position, and they will sometimes help an attack. In 4-4-2, just look at the natural positioning. They will help you a lot. Even on stay back, they're always going to be in that position. That's why I say it's very important to have mobile centre mids who are able to attack and defense. So yeah, just be wary of that. Even when you got stay back on your right centre mid and left centre mid, you are going to be vulnerable on counters just because of how the formation works. As I said, come back on strikers on the 2. The problem is, right, I've tried, you've seen, I use drift wide and target man on, if I use a 1 striker formation. When I use 2 striker formations, I just keep it at balance. I don't try and do anything different. Just try and keep it basic, because I feel like if I put drift wide, that then I've got a natural width, because my right mid and left mids are a lot wider than a ram and a lamb. So I don't need him to be giving me that drift wide option. I need to keep him in the middle, be able to do that 1v1 turn situation, and sort of build my play around that. So yeah, that is what I would use for 4-4-2. Obviously, it depends on your style. If you want to be aggressive, obviously take the comeback on the players. You know, stay back on your right centre mid and left centre mid. But if you want to be super aggressive and be flying in attack, obviously put balance on your right mid and left mid. And you could even put like getting behind, as I say. That'll give you a great option if you're just if you're a pinger and you're like a tiki taka and just want to go quick. What you can do straight from the defense, get into your centre mids, into your striker, and because of the getting behind on the right mid and left mid, you're going to get that natural one-on-one situation with their wing backs instantly. And if they don't track the run, you're going to be through down the wing. So obviously there's different variations you can do. So just because I say this is what works for me does not mean it's going to work for you. You need to experiment with different things and see what is preference to you and the way you play. But yeah, that'll be it for the 4-4-2 formation guide. Hopefully this has helped you understand the formation a little bit better and what I would use as a pro FIFA player. But don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. Peace.